Optibotimus coming to you with another video review, and today I'm very excited to be bringing you the review of the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale General Grievous. An absolutely highly anticipated figure from him, and I'm absolutely honored to be one of the first people to be bringing you a review of it. As you can see, this is an extremely large box. Grievous is a big figure. As you can see down here at the bottom, this is the Sideshow exclusive version, which we'll take a look at here in just a bit. But really cool image here in the front. And then the best part, when you come around here, you got the Star Wars General Grievous, but on the back, an absolutely incredible image of him himself. Absolutely wicked. Those eyes just really are amazing. One of the coolest attributes to this character is the fact that utilizes, well, human organs, and it just comes across so wickedly evil. Now, one thing that I do want to highlight here, it's absolutely impressive, is the actual protection that's in this box to protect this figure. Opening it up, it is a shoebox sort of package, and once you fight with it to open it up, you can see that on the inside here is his cape and a lot of his extra accessories, which we'll all touch on here in a little bit. Then you come around to the internal part, and you can see Grievous. Well, actually, you can't because the camera's too far down. You can see Grievous on top of a pile of dead clone troopers. And then when you open this up, this is actually on the inside is all foam padding, and it's wonderful. You can see also that on the inside here you got this foam bit, but this just really absolutely impresses me, the amount of detail and thought to put foam in here to protect the figure. He is a very skeletal figure, and that being the case, could potentially be fragile. So all this extra foam in here to keep the figure secure really does impress me. That is it for the packaging. I just wanted to highlight that because, as I said, I'm really impressed with that. I think it's a wonderful touch, and I think collectors are really going to appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get this guy opened up and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have General Grievous opened up out of its packaging, and absolutely stunning. I mean, the packaging really impressed me, but when I got this figure out, I could absolutely see the amount of love and care that went into this figure from Sideshow Collectibles. I really do believe that they almost approached this as their crown jewel to date, and they have put a lot into this. There's a lot to cover with this guy, so starting off first, let's take a look at his accessories. And he really does come with a nice array of stuff to get any kind of poses that you could possibly want for your display of this figure. Now, starting off first, as the Sideshow exclusive, you do get an alternate battle damage looking head. Zooming in to look at that, that is stunning. The coolest part, really, in my opinion, are his eyes. You come around to the back and you can see that he's got these yellow translucent bits right here that allow for a lot of light piping. You're not getting a lot when it's actually attached to the figure. That's one thing. I mean, I do kind of wish that there was a way that you could get that in there more, but I love the eyes on there. I mean, that is just wickedly cool. I mean, getting zoomed in as much as I possibly can, you can see just how very cat-like those eyes are. I mean, they're simply incredible. And you can also see the amazing paint detail on his actual armor. This figure has a lot of paint applications, and you can see just some of them right in there, especially with the marbling. And then you got the brushed, burnt look here on the side of them. I mean, incredible. Simply incredible. Come around here, and then you got his little microphones here along the side. When you take this out of the packaging, you do want to be careful because these could snag on the actual foam, so do be careful. And then you come around here, and you can see a little magnet, or, well, I think that's just the metal bit, but that's what is used to attach it to the actual rest of the head. So gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And you can see even around the eyes, you can see the flesh and the actual humanoid look to it, and it's wonderfully colored. I mean, I dig those eyes. So I mean, they just look awesome. He also does come with an electro staff, and you can see it's a very nice dark gray plastic, and then the bits at the end here are painted silver, and then the energy clusters here are actually removable if you want, and they're a little bit softer and a pliable material. All right, there we go. Just pull it off, and then you can have just the staff just by itself. But honestly, the best look for it really does come from when you have these attached, and it's a really great looking effect, and I appreciate that they made it where they can be removed. Again, another wonderful way to display this figure. With one staff, you basically get two different options. He does come with his blaster that was unfortunately used to kill him for the most part. Obi-Wan grabbed this and shot him and basically incinerated all of his internal organs. But another wonderful piece, very bulky looking for a handgun especially, but absolutely nice. It's all done in this slightly shiny paint, but it's a really nice paint job on here. I mean, I do dig it. The only thing that I think that would really bring this out is if maybe there was more of a silver wash over it as well, just giving it a little bit more of a metallic look. But still, this is a wonderfully sculpted piece that looks great. He comes with two sets of arms. A set that's fused together, and then another set that allow for that battle look, which you can rotate these out, and you can see that it gives them that forearm look. And then you get a lot more range of motion, honestly, with these than you do with the ones that are on them. But again, really nice attention to detail on here. This figure features, honestly, over 250 different paint applications, or paint applications, I should say. So they really didn't skimp, and you can see a lot of it in the wash here. Zooming in so that you can see that a little bit better. Something like that is what I really wish like the gun would have. Just that silver wash over it. But look at that. That's terrific. And then again, you got really nice marbling on the rest of the white of his armor. I mean, really stunning looking, and it's all subtle. I mean, it's very... I guess like alabaster or something. I mean, it's absolutely a stunning amount of paint detail on here. These, like I said, are very, very well articulated. Now, starting off with this, these are, you can actually remove these. They just peg in. Well, it's kind of, well, let's try it on this side. There we go. You can see how they just peg in, but you do want to be careful when you're articulating it. The skeletal structure and nature of the figure, as well as the thinness, really made it so that they needed to make these joints tight. So they are extra tight. So when you're going to move them, really make sure to, well, I should keep the darn thing in frame, but you really need to grab the top section and grab the bottom, and then make it move. If you grab here, you can really see where it's going to put a lot of pressure on, for example, this joint right here. So you're doing it could really damage it. So you really want to make sure that you grab one side, grab the other, then bend. Then down here, you don't really have to worry about that because it's just a swivel. But you can hear that these are kind of like a ratchet joint. And you can rotate that around. It can rotate right up here. It can rotate down here. This arm right here has the exact same ratchet joint. So a lot of articulation in this, and it's really, really impressive. And the other arm is the exact same way. You do have the really cool paint applications on there as well. Just simply a stunning piece. And when you put them together like that, you can kind of sort of see how they would fuse together just to create the two-arm look, which absolutely wonderful. And what would Grievous be if he didn't have a whole bunch of extra lightsabers? These are the ones that he's collected over the years in his various battles. And they're all individually done. They're all different looking, in other words. Really cool. And you can see they are magnetic, which I'll touch on here in a little bit. But you can see really nice detail on these. Getting in so I can show you that as much as possible. I mean, really a very, very nice chrome on there than his other ones. You have a little bit bigger of a saber, and you got some nice paint applications there. You got different color lights, I guess, down there, but overall, again, a really nice look. Then this one is a bit of a standard looking one, I suppose, but again, some nice gold paint on there. You got some red bits. Very cool. And again, you got the nice wash on there, which really looks terrific. And my favorite, and I don't know why, but the black on here just looks really neat. And then again, wonderful detail. You got all these little bits right here that are painted silver. You got some red dots right there. You got a gold section right here. Coming down here, you got, again, wonderful paint washes throughout there. So really nice. And then you can see that they are magnetic. The reason that they're magnetic is that they're designed to actually use it as a bit of a stabilizing element for his hands. Now they're not meant to actually hold them, but you can get them in there. And it's, like I said, just meant to stabilize them. So you put them in there and it holds it in there just a little bit. I mean, the hands hold it in there very nicely, but it's just meant to stabilize it in the hand. And all those same lightsabers come with a lit version. You can see you got 2 blue ones and 2 green ones. They do appear to be all the same length in terms of the blade. They sort of taper off towards the end, get a little bit thinner, but they are all the exact same. Put that down there. Hilts that we got with the unlit versions, but you do have all of those as well, and it looks incredible. Then come to the figure itself to take a look at the couple other accessories that he comes with. First up, we have his cape, which is really a very nice cape. It clasps and has a button to allow you to attach it to the actual figure, and then just removing it so that we can see it a little bit better. You do have a very nice design here on the back, as well as the inner section here features 2 different little pockets for his lightsabers, and I don't know how well this is going to come across on here, but it has a very nice diamond pattern on the inside, which again is accurate to how it looks in the actual movie. It is it's very hard to see. Oh, you can actually sort of see it throughout there. It just depends on how the light hits it, but again, as I said, accurate to how it looks in the film. And it's a very nice material. I don't know necessarily what it's made out of, but it feels really good. And then you look around here, and like I mentioned, it's got an actual hook section that you can actually hook, and then you got the button right down there that you push and lock it in. Oh, well, when you push it, locks it into place. And then you have a nice logo right here on the front, which is very reminiscent of how his logo looks here on the back section, which looks terrific, as I said, and just draping it over him so you can sort of see it in a little bit better of a way. But I mean, very large cape. And then setting this off to the side, you can really get a very good look at the very skeletal nature of the character. And the other thing that he comes with is this really neat, unique stand. Now, getting him to sort of stand, he's definitely not positioned very well to stand, although he's standing pretty good right there. He does come with this really neat, like I said, unique stand, which was specifically created for him. As you can see, it does have that same logo printed on the actual stand itself, but what makes this very unique is it actually rotates 360 degrees, and it also pivots back and forth. In addition to that, it has this little rubber piece on the bottom, so if you're using this and it's not directly underneath him, it's kind of off to the side like this, that little rubber piece will help to kind of keep this in position. It won't slide around quite as much, and that's absolutely wonderful. Now, to get this to attach to him, you see how it's in this V shape. Oh, well, see, he wants to fall. Bringing it around, I don't know how well this is going to get picked up here on the camera. Let me see if I can zoom in some. There you go. You can actually sort of see what I'm talking about. The outer sections here and here are where you need to spread this and get these little hooks to latch onto, spreading it around there just like so to get it to help position them. That's how you want to have it, and that's really how the best way to position the cradle for it. And that pivoting cradle actually really helps in case you want to position him where he's got a very crunched display going for him. It depends on really how you want to utilize it. But this is what I'm talking about when you want to put it behind them. It sort of balances them out some and helps to keep them upright. Now, coming to the main attraction himself, General Grievous is stunning. With over 250 paint applications, there is a lot to look at on him. And every part that you look at has been greatly enhanced by the paint job. That really might be one of the most impressive parts about it. Even the internal organs, which you can't really see. I mean, it's kind of covered up by his little green flesh sac or whatever you want to call it. But every single organ in there is individually painted. I mean, that's just and you can sort of see it through here, but that's just a touch that I really honestly wouldn't have anticipated them doing. They totally could have cheaped out on it, but they didn't. And even looking at the rest of his organs coming up, like that's probably his esophagus or something like that coming up, has been painted in this really nice flesh sort of tone. I mean, it's just as detailed as his eyes that I was showing you previously. And then all the actual armor still has that really cool marbling on for the paint job. It's just absolutely exquisite looking. It's just mind-blowing. It really, really is. As I said, this figure is without a doubt their crown jewel, at least to this point, and you can see just how much they wanted to make this figure stand out and just blow everything else away. Now, for his articulation, he's loaded with it. And the cool thing is a lot of these joints are those clickety joints. So it really helps to stabilize the figure and allow you to get him in any kind of pose that you really want. And as I said, with the special new stand that he comes with, you really have an extra support base to get some of those really dynamic poses. The only thing that I wish that he could do is maybe look up a little bit higher. That's about as high without taking it and pushing it underneath here. I mean, you can get it looking up, but that's about as high or as high as it's going to go. The problem is the like rubber esophagus, and a lot of these bits inside here are rubber. When you lift it up, it kind of pulls it back down, as you can see. So that might put some people off, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. It does have a nice range of motion. You can get it looking left and right very nicely, very easily as well. This bit here down at the bottom also does rotate, moves forward or back a little bit. You do got that pivot going on there. Now, these shoulder bits, again, you want to make sure that you do your best to articulate it up by the joint itself. So you have that clickety joint up there. It does rotate forward and back. This is actually a really cool joint. Right here, as you can see, it rotates, but it's got these pistons in it, which as it rotates is really very cool. Now, because of the way that is, it is a little bit more limited. You do have to get creative with the joint up here, like lifting that there, rotating that down, bending it down again to get a little bit more of a position like this. But it is possible. And then you do have just the regular swivel joint right here at the just below the elbow, I suppose. Then you come down here to the wrist. You got the full range of motion. You got the little clickety joint. And again, I'm gonna set them down to actually show you this. You really want to use two hands when you're positioning these, just to protect it. Each of the fingers are individually articulated at the bottom part of the knuckle, but I mean, just look how cool it is. And then again, you got the little magnet in here to help stabilize any of these lightsabers. You got that as well as the lit ones. So you got all of those. So that's what you got going on articulation wise in his arms. He does rotate at the waist. Nothing forward and back, unfortunately. The hips, and you can hear like they have those clickety joints everywhere. So moves forward, moves back, moves in, moves out. You got double jointed knees, and again, nice ratchet joints right there. You come down here to the actual feet. They have the same ball clickety joint right there at the ankle as well as right here. So you can get that moving just like that, just like that. And then it also does rotate. Same with the actual foot. That's a little bit harder to get moving. That one, yeah, that one's really stiff. So again, you want to be careful when you're doing it. Definitely put as much of the emphasis when you're trying to bend it as close to the actual joint as you can get. I can't stress that enough to you guys. Then for the arms, I'm trying to get him, because he's a very big, large figure. Let's see here. I want to try and get this so you can see this as best as possible. And then you do really have to make sure. And that's one thing, like the strength of the joints really does help you get some of these crazy poses for him and really contort him in a way that it's gonna look good, but you do have to make sure that you're balancing things properly to get him to stand. And if you can't get it to balance, like I said, you got this. So, I mean, looking down at his legs, you can see just how crazy I have those. And he's gonna topple backwards, but again, it's something that you can fix. You just take this, you put this underneath them, however you want to hook it on there just to get him to stand. Now, coming up to these arms to show you how to swap those out. When you come around here, actually these pegs peg into the green body on the inner side. So you want to grab hold of this giant nub bit right here, and then, well, you can see the whole thing just pops out, but put that all the way in there. Just give that a little spin, just like so. Then make sure you put the right arm on there, and this is it. You got that little bit right there, pegs in. So just, again, try to hold that, rotate that in, just like so, and now you have them with two arms, or two arms on one side. Gonna do that on this side as well. Get the base as much as you possibly can, and you can see that these little bits are also articulated, which is really nice. So get this, and well, the whole thing just came off. So I mean, it's supposed to, it just pegs right back in there, and it's almost a little bit easier to do that. Then take this, squeeze that in there like so, and now one of the most iconic looks for him is these crazy arms, and now you have them where you can have them battle ready. So taking these and then taking all of his lightsabers, as I said, magnetic, so it helps to hold them in there. It's not meant to hold them permanently. That's what the fingers will do. It just helps to stabilize them. So bear that in mind. And then, as I said, the Sideshow exclusive version comes with this battle damage face, and all you do, pop this off. It is held on magnetically, so put it right on there. Boom. So quick, so easy, and now you have a nice, unique, new look for him. And then for a size comparison, as you can see, when he's crunched down, he's about as tall as a regular 1/6 scale figure. So you can get a real understanding of just how big this figure is, which is accurate to how he looked on screen. So he is still 1/6 scale, just much larger. Now, bottom line is that this figure is extremely well done. The amount of love that went into this is very evident. The paint applications, the amount of articulation, just the sheer amount of detail is exquisite. Without a doubt, this is one of the best Star Wars figures that we've gotten, period. And I really do believe that. Regardless of the company that makes it, this one blows them all away, in my opinion. If you are a Star Wars fan, this is a figure that needs to be in your collection. If you're a 1/6 scale collector, this is one that would probably want to be in your collection. It just looks incredible. I do recommend getting it directly through Sideshow Collectibles because you do get that exclusive extra battle damage face. If you get it from anywhere else, you're going to pay the same price and not get that piece. So Sideshow is the best way to get it, I think. So if you are interested in picking this guy up, click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow Collectibles where you can pick this guy up and add him to your collection today. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com. And if you like this review, don't forget to please rate, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.